Hey y'all, so let's get into this word. So God has really been speaking to me about the wilderness, okay? So I've been in the book of Exodus. I'm in Exodus chapter 5. And this is where Moses and Aaron go to Pharaoh and approach him and basically tell him that God said that let my people go. But there was a key word that stuck out to me in Exodus chapter 5, verse 1, where it said, I'm paraphrasing, a festival, let my people go so that they may hold a festival in my honor in the wilderness. And then God gave me a vision of like a nuclear bomb going off, okay? And then he began to explain to me, like, just like the government before they release any actual nuclear bombs in times of war, they took nuclear bombs to sites to basically to get out all the defects, to prepare for the actual dropping of a nuclear bomb, the real thing, right? And in that same way, God uses the wilderness to prepare us for the promised land or wherever God is taking you to. All the time when you look throughout scripture concerning the wilderness, the wilderness paved the way for before a promised land or a destination that God would. For instance, when Jesus went to the wilderness, he was tested for 40 days and 40 nights. That time where Jesus was tested in the wilderness prepared him for one of the greatest battles, which was the Garden of Gethsemane, where he was asking God to take this cup from him, right? And he was in such a serious mental battle in that moment, and mental and spiritually, emotionally battle, right? All his capacities was being expanded in that moment with God. And it prepared his capacity for the ultimate decision in which he took on the cross. Everything that we go throughout life is preparation for something. Even marriage itself, like marriage is a preparation for the eventual marriage to Jesus when he comes back for his return to get his bride, us, the church. So if you found yourself in a wilderness season, try not to allow the circumstance of the weather, the drought, the things that happen in the wilderness to keep you from aligning with the perspective that God has for that season. The enemy loves to use the circumstances of the wilderness to distract you from God's purpose of the wilderness. What can we learn from the wilderness? Well, right off the bat, we know that it's necessary. Jesus himself was in the wilderness. He had to go through a wilderness season. But guess what? Another word for wilderness is preparation. And preparation is the foreshadow of something that is going to eventually become the real thing. Or according to the dictionary, it says something done to get ready for an event or undertaking. So the wilderness is preparing you for something. Whatever it is, it's preparing you and it's necessary for your journey. And yes, can it suck? Absolutely. And yes, there's always going to be the temptation to complain. And don't be afraid to tell God how you feel, but just don't stay in that place. Don't build a tent in the wilderness and in the preparation, because eventually the good news is God is going to move you out of the wilderness. Even Jesus' wilderness had to end. And eventually, so did the Israelites and John the Baptist when he went into the wilderness. The wilderness has an end time, meaning you're not going to get stuck there as long as you keep on going. Love you guys. Goodbye.